LTV Action Sports is funded in part by Richardson Funeral Home at www.richardsonfuneralhome.net.
From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rivalry Family Media Basketball here on Facebook Live. Tonight, the Leominster High School Blue Devils play host to the Oakmont Spartans. Thanks to a little bit of snow and perhaps some concerns for COVID as well, we have some modifications to the schedule this week. It's delayed things throughout the week, but we've got basketball for you over the next few days as, although delayed, Leominster and Oakmont week has arrived here on RFM. Leominster comes in with an overall record of 4-2 in this mid-watch Pod 6. Meanwhile, the Oakmont Regional Spartans and their coach Jeff O'Neill, a 1-5 overall record in mid-watch Pod number 6. The lone victory for Oakmont came at the hands of Narragansett, a 31-22 final a couple of Mondays ago. Meanwhile, Leominster started off the year rip-roaring, 4 straight victories, 2 over Narragansett, 2 over Gardner, and then last week, a tough week for the Blue Devils before the snow showed up. A loss here at home by a 44-18 score to the arch-rival Red Raiders, and then back on the road a few days later on Thursday of last week, a 37-27 loss to the Red Raiders, who top Pod 6 here in central Massachusetts. That's the backdrop. It's Leominster and Oakmont to do battle here tonight on Rivalry Family Media. We welcome you courtside alongside Kate Robbins. I'm Todd Robbins, happy to have you along with us. Missing the third party here, it's Bill Thomas. He is on assignment to warmer climes for the remainder of the basketball season. We'll see him when the football season begins, just a few short weeks from now. Here we are, it's Leominster and Oakmont, and of course, as we come on the air tonight, Kate, we've got news from across central Massachusetts. We look first to this morning's news, and that was a meeting of the football committee of the MIAA, comprised of athletic directors from all across Massachusetts, reversing an earlier decision from many weeks back now, about a month or so ago, where they were making decisions not about this current COVID-modified football season coming up in fall season number 2, but for the future of football down the road. Decision made there to reverse fields instead of a 9-week regular season that was projected for the coming weeks and months and years ahead for football. As it turns out, they will revert back to 8 with 16 teams in each division for the overall playoffs. We'll have more on that as we work our way forward. And then more directly, right here and on the other side of the Twin Cities, we have the news coming out of Fitchburg. Former head coach of the Fitchburg High School Red Raiders, Tom DiGeronimo, has resigned his position as of February 1st. A new interim head coach has been appointed in Greg Graham, coming off of the staff from Coach DiGeronimo. Graham will take over immediately. He will see the Red Raiders through the COVID-modified season, as announced by Fitchburg High School Athletic Director Craig Antossi. And so that's the latest news we come on the air with as far as high school basketball goes. The focus is here tonight. We'll turn our attention to that. It's Leominster and Oakmont. Kate, 2 teams having very different years in this COVID modification. Leominster started off hot, stubs their toe last week against Fitchburg. This is a huge bounce back week for the Blue Devils to kind of resettle themselves to prepare for what they know is on the horizon. If you want to get to the Pod Championship in Pod 6, it goes through Arnhow Road. You've got to beat Paul DiGeronimo's Red Raiders.
You're absolutely right about that. And this layoff that the Lady Blue Devils have had since that loss to Fitchburg last week could go one of two ways. This could cut into the point of Coach Rusty Frederick has had a lot of time to be able to implement some adjustments for the Lady Blue Devils. They've been able to think about things. They've been able to kind of, come down to reality. They were on a tear for those first several games of the season, and you kind of get that jolt of reality when you run into the freight train that was the Fitchburg Lady Red Raiders. And so it kind of gives you pause if you're Leominster, but it also should reinvigorate you. You're only just beyond halfway through the season. You still have 4 games left to go in the pod regular season. And so hopefully they see this week as, a refocus week where they can get back on track and then be playing their best basketball going in to Quabbin next week and then into hopefully pod playoffs thereafter.
And so much more to come as we work our way through the evening. Kate and I will be with you throughout here on Rivalry Family Media. It's time now to meet the starting lineups for the two schools, and we will do that here in just a moment. You stand by. Leominster and Oakmont to come here on RFM.
And a very good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the gym at Leominster High School for tonight's matchup, where the Oakmont Regional Spartans are on the road to play the Leominster High School Blue Devils. First, we meet the visitors from Oakmont. A junior, number 1, Riley Barrio. A senior, number 3, Hannah Rodriguez. A junior, number 10, Sophie Plotkin. A senior, number 15, Emma Cullen. And a sophomore, number 2, Jada Sibley. The Spartans are coached by Jeff O'Neill, assisted by Gary Koslowski, Carlin Kadek, and Skylar Alvarez. And now it's time to meet the hometown Leominster High School Blue Devils. At guard, a sophomore, number 4, Isabella Nevar. Also at guard, a sophomore, number 12, Kylie Cutter. At center, a junior, number 15, Ava McDonald. At forward, a freshman, number 25, Kyra Forsberg. Also at forward, a freshman, number 44, Juliana Pompey. The Blue Devils are coached by Rusty Frederick, assisted by Megan McDaniel. And ladies and gentlemen, will you join me now and please rise for the play of our national anthem.
And with that, we're ready for basketball courtside here from the gym at Leominster High School. Once again, a very good evening, everyone. Alongside Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you joining us here on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Media Rivalry for this one. Remember, this game available live here on Facebook Live, and then coming up later on this evening, available on demand on YouTube. Search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, and subscribe today. We also welcome our viewers joining us on Comcast and Verizon in replay with our partners at Leominster Television. Great to have them along with us as well here at the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster and Oakmont, Kate, we kind of set the scene for the Blue Devils and what they will face in the matchup tonight, and what is, obviously a vital matchup for them this evening. But now we look over on the other side, and I think you've got to consider, how are things for the Spartans? 1-5 to this point, a struggle, only the one win versus Narragansett, who has struggled in their own right this season. For Coach Jeff O'Neill's bunch, really important to get off to a good start here tonight.
And I think that you couldn't have said that any better yourself. I think in this one, the tone is going to be set here early on, and it's going to be very imperative that everybody gets their sea legs under them sooner rather than later.
And the Spartans open with the basketball. Sibley with the inbound, and away we go as Oakmont controls the basketball from right to left. 10 seconds gone by here in the first quarter. Spartans wearing their road evergreen tops and bottoms, trimmed in silver and white. The Spartan on either side of the shorts, Oakmont straight across the chest. The scripted numeral front and back of the uniform. And that, a violation called against the Spartans. Basketball over to the Blue Devils. Early on, a little bit of defense creates a turnover opportunity. But here come the Spartans immediately with that full court trap. Nevard stuck, finds her way up floor for Cudahy. Cudahy throws back to Forsberg, and already the Blue Devils off balance here in the early going.
And that's one of those things that you would hope that they would come out and be a little bit more poised than that, but it's still early on. Let's see if things calm down for them, they can get that game plan in and execution going.
And ball bounced inside. It was Pompey that got bumped by Barrio. And the ball will stay with Leominster. First called against the Spartans. 7:15 left here in quarter one. No score, Blue Devils and Spartans. Blue Devils wearing the home white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue at the shoulders. Numerals front and back in royal blue. Blue Devils frame it in on the front of the chest. The running devil on either side of the shorts with the varsity L. Nevard drives the lane. The little push shot doesn't go. Cudahy sneaks in for the rebound on the right side, lays it in and good. Leominster draws first blood, 1 minute gone by. 2-0 Blue Devils. This is Sibley, the sophomore, running the point. The underhand handoff for Barrio. Drives, might have gotten bumped, lost possession there. Ball back to the top of the key with Sibley. And the Spartans get another opportunity on the possession.
Nice job with the reset there by Oakmont, settling things down. Things get jumbled, set it back out to the point, and start again.
Barrio drove into a mess. There was a handoff on the inside for Sibley. Back to Barrio. Three doesn't go. A rebound on the inside for Rodequins. She goes up strong, and Rodequins gets fouled. She's got two coming from the line. They put that one on Nevard, her first.
COVID modification once again here at the line. All by themselves.
Yep, Rodequins will hit the first. Lanes will stay empty. For those of you joining us for the first COVID-modified basketball game of the year that you might be watching, lanes will stay empty during the first or the first two free throws, depending if it's a 2-shot or a 3-shot foul. And then right before the rebound possibility, the players will fill in the lower two blocks. Rodequins, second away, and great form. Second one drops. We're at 2-all, 6:19 to play here in the first quarter. Once again, that full court pressure bothering the Blue Devils. Cudahy tries to throw it forward to Nevard, and it's knocked down out of bounds. 4 seconds gone by on the shot clock, and Kate, you could see already the Blue Devils uncomfortable with this full court trapping pressure. And there's a pick on the throwaway. Cullen to the lane, can't finish at the rim, and Nevard comes down with it. And Cullen almost had another pick in transition. Leominster able to dribble out of trouble. It's Pompey. Up floor, Cudahy finds McDonald. One step for the lay-in is too strong off the glass, and Roddiquins has got the defensive rebound.
Nice recovery there by Leominster. Like you said, they were not comfortable with this full court press.
Nevard right into Coach Frederick, colliding on the bench, and then there's a double dribble away from the basketball. Chaos reigns right now inside the gym at Leominster High School.
And you can see Nevard, she's given it everything she's got. She was the one that was able to kind of right the ship there with the last full court press by Oakmont's defense, and she's trying to right the ship right now, but as you said, chaotic.
Boulay dribbles that one out of trouble and then finishes right down the middle of the floor for the lay-in. Coach Frederick screaming, pointing at Roddiquins, who's wide open in the left corner. They actually take the ball away from her with Rutherford, and she dragged the pivot foot, a walk called, and the ball back to Leominster. But here comes that full court pressure again, and Leominster has had to move Nevard to the other side, Kate. They were trying to work her on the near sideline, and she was just getting double teamed on every inbound.
Well, and that's one of those things. I mean, now that we're deep enough into the season, people can prepare.
Nevard through the lane, bangs the center of the glass, and down it falls.
And because Nevard has been the unquestionable leader, and some of the other Leominster Blue Devil players have been having a little bit of trouble, especially on the offensive end, it's an obvious person to double team.
This is Cullen. The baseline drive, through on the brakes, kick back Roddiquins, goes with the Rainmaker, doesn't go, ends up being a great pass to Rutherford down low. She couldn't finish at the rim, and then a battle for the basketball is won by Forsberg.
Neither team doing a great job on the offensive boards right now.
Good job by Roddiquins to body Boulay off of that lay-in. In transition, back up floor, gets the running start, does Rutherford. She draws the foul, and she's got two coming from the line. 4:44 left here in quarter number one. 6-2 Leominster's lead, and Coach Jeff O'Neill says, you know what, let's talk about this. Timeout Spartans, 4:44 left here in quarter one, chasing four with an opportunity for two shots coming at the line. Kate, an interesting start to this one, to say the least. A battle for the basketball at times. The Spartans' full court pressures throwing Leominster off their game a little bit and their possibilities to be able to move around on the play. And obviously the Spartans are capitalizing, but they haven't been able to finish at the rim. Well,
and that's been the saving grace for the Leominster Blue Devils. Right now, the Blue Devils are having to kind of scramble and try to make these in-game adjustments. It's pretty clear. I don't necessarily know that they were expecting the full court press, that pressure right off the bat in your face on the defensive end, and trying to get the ball into their own offensive end is kind of like their own odyssey right now. And so it's something that they're having to work through. Coach Frederick's over there in the huddle. You can see trying to make those adjustments and see if they're not able to, kind of find the code to break this full court press. Right now, Oakmont on the defensive end looking quite poised. No one looking poised on the offensive end, though, however.
And Coach Jeff O'Neill is no stranger to the intricacies of the game of basketball. Long-time veteran coach in this region, long time with the Spartans as well, and certainly he picked up on something in watching the Blue Devils game film, that kind of chaos, that kind of pressure can push them off balance. Rutherford rims out the first. Kate, I'm noticing as I sit in what is traditionally Billy's spot, there's a little bit of a creak in his seating area. Rutherford gets that one to go.
Are you going to be okay over there?
I'm trying, but I'm struggling with the creek. I might have to slide back over toward my spot.
Steal.
Meanwhile, giveaway in the middle of the floor. It's Barrio. Takes it down to the rim and then cannot finish on the lay-in.
Nice job by Nevard there to clean that up underneath the basket.
Right back down floor comes Smith, who pirouettes into the lane. Picked up the pivot foot without a dribble. Ball back to the Spartans. 4:28 left here in quarter one. Leominster with the 6-3 advantage. This is Barrio. Barrio with the jab step, working on Boulay. Hands off Rutherford. Rutherford takes the baseline drive, misses everything. There's a battle. There was a finger whistle that went off. They call it a held ball, and the alternate possession will favor Leominster. Straight line stack. Coach Frederick sets up a play.
Better job by Leominster adjusting there.
Having everybody just kind of work their way down the floor. It was like the Great Migration coming over mid-court. Foul called on the inside there. There was a bump by Plotkin. Leominster will keep the basketball. Remember, all fouls in the offensive end of the floor, regardless of where they happen, as one of the COVID modifications. There will be no inbounds from the offensive baselines. They will come from foul line extended, as Pompey gets an opportunity on the right block. With the turnaround, it rattles home. Back down floor. The runner for Barrio doesn't fall. Rebound down for Plotkin. Putback does not go. Pompey the rebound from the left side. Pompey looks up floor for Nevard, tries the bounce pass for McDonald. It was deflected out of play. And whistles and substitution into the game here. This is Chloe Tresaloni checking in for Leominster. She will spell Isabella Nevard for a few moments.
Turnovers for both sides, Leominster and for Oakmont, really prohibiting anybody from getting into a groove, especially on the scoring end. Needs some help over here.
Yeah, Smith needed some help and got the benefit of a long inbound five. Indeed. Leominster now sets up around the arc, and McDonald goes a little too high and a little too outside for Tresaloni out of play, and the ball back to the Spartans.
Passes right now not crisp for the Lady Blue Devils, but again, they are taking advantage of things where they can on the offensive end, because right now the same can be said for Oakmont.
Bounce on the inside, it was Barrio. Barrio found De La Santa. Pass was knocked down, bodies to the floor, loose ball picked up there by Pompey. Pompey up floor for Tresaloni. And she'll slow the action, swing to the near side, head fake drive, shifted the feet, a walk called, and the ball will go back to Oakmont. 3:05 left here in quarter one. Leominster with the 5-point advantage. Fouls it 2 apiece, alternate possession favors Oakmont. As we pass under the 3-minute mark here of the first quarter. Bounce and drive, it was knocked down. Battle for the basketball. Collision and Pompey comes out with it. And then an immediate giveaway to Barrio. Barrio, the drive with the right hand. Gave up the dribble, now has to bounce it back for Plotkin. Plotkin tiptoes through the defense, lays it in and good. Leominster's lead down to 1 possession, 8-5. 2.5 to play here in the first quarter. Smith looks cross paint, high and outside, not a play.
And I do believe that's 3 offensive possessions in a row for Leominster where errant passes have been the name of the game. That's 3 offensive possessions that you could have potentially scored points on. So you're looking at potentially 6 points lost in just the last 3 possessions from difficult, careless, sporadic passing.
Kick into the corner. This is Plotkin. Dribbles down through the lane, hard in and out. Rebound was loose. Picked up there by Rodequins. Rodequins set up Rutherford. Missed the 3-point opportunity. And now the loose ball rebound finds Barrio. Tipped away by Tresaloni with the pick. This is Smith. Spins back for Boulay. It got tipped by Rutherford. Swing into the corner. Tresaloni, the drive into the lane, draws the foul as she gets held up. And Tresaloni is going to the line to shoot 2.
And I like the adjustment that Leominster has had now relative to this full court press that we've been seeing when Oakmont goes on defense. They've calmed things down in transition. Now when they get into their own offensive end, they need to still work on making sure that their passing is a lot more crisp and that they finish, especially on the offensive boards. We've been seeing them working on those things, like rebounding. But right now, I like the adjustment. Coach Frederick clearly being very explicit with his instructions relative to what he wants to see changed. And we're seeing things going in the right direction with regard to Leominster in transition.
First one went down for Tresaloni, got Leominster off of the 8 mark. And now the second one away. Caught the side of the rim, the rebound Cullen, and then a tie-up as Tresaloni immediately exploded off the line. The held ball will favor Oakmont, as we'd indicated a little bit ago, but a great hustle play by Tresaloni to scramble back into that one.
And that's one of those things, that's something we talk about in education a lot. There are things that require no talent at all, and that's effort. And that's one of those things. You're seeing a lot of effort from her.
1:40 to play here in quarter number 1. 9-5 Leominster's advantage. Feed inside. It was Sibley. She lost the ball. Marwa knew into the game with the pressure. Tipped it loose, and Nevard picks up the loose ball and then lost the handle. Right to Sibley. Nevard follows her like a shadow, ties her up, held ball the call, and the ball right back to Leominster. 1:27 to play here in the first quarter.
Are you going to be okay with that creep?
It's driving me
crazy.
bananas.
It's hysterical.
Into the corner. 3 away for Nevard, and buries it.
That deserved a bam.
It did indeed. 1:10 to play here in the first quarter, and Leominster's lead is double digits. Tip to the inside. Bounce back, and now steadying the action. This is Beausoleil. Feed the near side. Sibley. Head fake. Drive as we go under a minute. Gave up the dribble. Pocket pick by Marwa.
Nice job by Leominster's defense there to get in her face.
Up floor finds Shannon. Shannon finishes at the rim. 14-5, Leominster's advantage. Shot clock differential about 27 seconds.
Leominster doing a nice job there in cleaning up their passing, working hard in transition, doing a nice job getting easy 2 points when they can get them.
15 to shoot. Bounce back, 3 away. Kisses the glass, no help on the rim. Shot clock is off. Final 18 seconds of the first frame here. Now 15 inside Marwa. Marwa tipped away there on the hustle play by Cullen. Loose ball, Marwa got it back. 8 seconds in the corner, and Coach Frederick uses a timeout to get Marwa out of trouble. She had given up her dribble, and she was stuck in the corner with Spartans in all directions, including from their bench, and that was worth the timeout spent by Coach Rusty Frederick, his first. 7 4/10 seconds left here in the first quarter. 14-5, Leominster's advantage. Kate, an opportunity here to dial up one play. I'm waiting, by the way, for Bill Thomas to hear this creak and then send us a message and be like, yep, I know all about that. I sit on it all the time.
You're going to be okay, I promise.
My goodness.
We're all learning new skills tonight.
Indeed. Got some folks checking in with us out there in social media land. Feel free, cheer on your significant player, if you will, whomever or wherever you may be. If you have a daughter out there playing in the action, feel free to root them on. Feel free to root on your alma mater, whether it's Oakmont or Leominster, as we welcome our friends from the Ashburnham Westminster School District joining us for this coverage this evening. As well, we also say hello to Beth Canning Spinelli checking in with us. She wants to know if the game is available live on Comcast and Verizon via Leominster TV. That game not available live tonight. It will be available in replay, Comcast and Verizon, from our friends at Leominster TV. Live action right here. Basketball all season long on Rivalry Family Media, Facebook.com/Media Rivalry, and then same day replay available on demand on YouTube. Search Rivalry Family Media. Like and subscribe today. Out of the timeout, here we go. Cudahy for the inbound, final 7 seconds of the first quarter. Marwa flings up a runner, it doesn't go. Down in the hands of Cullen. Cullen for Rutherford, up floor, and they're not gonna get a shot away. Sibley had the last touch where she could have got a shot away from a reasonable distance. And that ends the first quarter of play with the score, Leominster 14 and Oakmont 5. End-to-end action, Kate. The scoreboard is going to look a little more lopsided than the action really is. Oakmont controlled the first half of that first quarter with their defense and really depressed the overall scoring of the action.
And I think that that's exactly correct. Right now, we had been talking repeatedly about the number of scoring opportunities that Leominster left out there in the first quarter. You're never going to complain if you're up after a quarter. You're never going to complain if you have a lead. So that's not to take anything away from the Leominster Blue Devils. One of the things here is that if you have those opportunities to make adjustments, to clean up a couple of things here and there, that's what Coach Frederick is talking about right now. Giving up, scoring opportunities, doing a nice job, a very nice job did the Lady Blue Devils, making the adjustment relative to the full court pressure that we saw in the early minutes, in the early going by the Spartans. A nice adjustment by Leominster in transition. Obviously, always room for improvement. Otherwise, why would you have a coach on staff? And so both teams needing to make adjustments. Oakmont needing to have a little bit more production on their offensive end of things going on. But right now, an enjoyable basketball game thus far.
Coaching is teaching, Kate. There's nobody that knows it better than the teacher coaches that are out there all across this region. Of course, we mentioned all of the different ways to participate, and of course the modified schedule was something we noted off the start of the broadcast. Snow early part of the week, messed up all the schedules. So things changed. Oakmont-Leominster Week shifted a little bit. First game of Oakmont-Leominster Week, if you will, coming to you tonight here inside the gym at Leominster High School as the girls got the week started. The boys game from Monday has been moved, as you see there, to Saturday. That's February the 6th, 2 o'clock. The start of that one, we'll have it live for you here on Rivalry Family Media. Shot away coming out of the start of the quarter for Cullen. The three won't go. The loose ball on the baseline is reeled in by Smith, who finds Nevard. 20 seconds gone by here in the second quarter. Nevard, the cross-court skip, finds Marwa. Marwa got it up on the rim, wouldn't go. Nevard through the lane, was able to pick up the rebound, step around a defender and lay it in and good.
Can you check and make sure our score bug says second quarter?
It does.
Thanks so much.
Kate managing a number of jobs tonight. She is the score bug operator, the camera operator, color commentator, ball tipped out of bounds. And the ball will go to Leominster. Doing a great job over there, Kate. Everyone certainly appreciates the efforts.
Just keep lying to me.
No, you're doing a great job. Some folks checking in with us. Jamie Rodequins with the thumbs up on the action thus far. And Kelly Kozlowski says, let's go Coach O'Neill and Coach Kozlowski. So checking in to root on the coaching staff, which is nothing wrong with that.
I love that.
Hey, trust me, they could use all the support
yes, they can.
could need. Coaching is not an easy gig by any stretch of the imagination. In a COVID-modified season, all that much more difficult. First minute of the second quarter gone by, 16-5, Leominster's lead. Fouls, 3 against Oakmont in the first quarter, 2 against Leominster in that first quarter of action. Shot a little wide off glass. Forsberg got herself the rebound, and then an up-floor pick by Barrio. Barrio finds Sibley. Sibley ahead of the pack. She'll lay it in and good. Nevard made a last-second wave at it, but nowhere near soon enough. A 9-point basketball game. Forsberg was able to find Marwa, and then she went back to Forsberg, who walked with it. And that is a totally chaos pressure, full court pressure, caused turnover there. Great job by the defense of the Spartans. Spartans with a chance for 2-for-1 on this possession. This is Della Santa. Back straight away for Barrio. In the lane, Rodequins. Kicks it back out. Della Santa, the three. Got the kiss. And it forced it to rattle off the rim. Back up floor. Forsberg can't find the handle.
She has been all over the place.
And Barrio makes the steal. And Kate, you're absolutely right.
Every time you look around, number 1 for Oakmont is picking somebody's pocket.
No question about it. Rodequin shot away. There was a whistle. Bodies on the floor, and out of bounds is the call. The ball will go back to Leominster. And Coach Rusty Frederick will make a modification. He'll take Nevard out, bring Pompey back in on that stoppage of action.
Here comes this adjustment by Leominster. Trying to navigate this full court pressure.
Pompey got caught in the backcourt by yourself. Last thing you want is your center or your power forward, either way you look at it, handling the basketball, and nobody there to help her with full court pressure. Leominster gets in their half-court offense. Forsberg, a wide open three. That one won't go with the big kick on the rebound. It's run down by Cudahy. It was tipped. Cudahy recovers it in the backcourt. Now brings it over, gives up the dribble for Forsberg. Then Pompey, the three, then the crash, got her own rebound, turn around in the lane, gets fouled, and Pompey's got 2 coming from the line. Pompey's first won't go. Foul was charged to Plotkin, her second. Team 4th overall. Pompey. Second away. And that one will go. And Leominster's lead back to 10. Back down floor. 3 fired away. Cut the front rim for Sibley. And then kicked away. Marois the rebound. Back down floor, it's Boulay. 3, catches the back rim, rebound, Pompey cleans up on the doorstep and gets it to go.
And that's a nice job with the rebounding action right there in the middle of the paint, making her presence known, not allowing anybody to body up on her, doing a really nice job going up and getting that rebound.
Marois pokes it away for Boulay. Payoff coming for Marois, lets the defense blow by, can't finish on the lay-in. And the rebound picked up there by Sibley with the direct giveaway to Boulay, and Leominster keeps it in the half court. This is Forsberg to McDonald. Foul line extended for the jumper, doesn't go, and the rebound run down to the near side. That's Collette. And then a foul scrambling back into the play. I think Forsberg got nicked for that one. She did. Her first. 4.5 to play here in the second quarter. 19-7, Leominster's advantage. And here comes Barrio with the right-hand dribble, crossing over the half court. Plays catch with Collette, and Barrio forces to the foul line. Marois tied up on the inside with Plotkin. Held ball and back to Leominster. Timely defense, Kate, for Leominster as far as getting on those held balls when they've had the arrow going in their direction.
Yeah, doing a nice job.
And now Coach Jeff O'Neill wants to talk things over. 4:18 to play here in the second quarter. Timeout on the floor, taken by Oakmont. Leominster's lead, a 19-7 advantage. Great to have you here at our courtside broadcast position. Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins, happy to have you along with us on this Thursday night, February the 4th. Great to have all of you joining us as a part of our family here, checking in with us from all across North Central Massachusetts. Great to have you along with us as well. And certainly a great matchup here we have underway. We mentioned the boys action coming up later on in the week, as Saturday we'll have a special Saturday edition of what has basically been routinely Monday, Thursday basketball throughout this winter season. And coming up on Saturday, we will have a little bit of special basketball here. 2 o'clock, as we said, for Leominster and Oakmont's boys action there. We'll be on the air just before 2 o'clock, about 1:45 here, streaming on Ravelry Family Media. As you get a chance to look at here in our courtside position, all of the jobs Kate has going on. She's got her score bug operation going on here. You can see the corner of her camera going there. The only thing you don't have is the benefit of her fantastic stats. But we will we'll soldier on and try to fill in the holes
I can tell you,
where we can.
Coach Frederick in the huddle has just drawn up the annexation of Puerto Rico. So you know, anytime you get a reference to the Spanish-American War.
I was thinking anytime you get a reference to the Little Giants, which is a classic.
So good.
Classic for those of us that grew up in the 80s. 4:18 to play here in the second quarter, and here we go. Away we go back to action, and the pressure again causes a turnover.
I don't think you'll see Oakmont go away from that full court pressure, because although the lead is advantage Leominster, this full court pressure has been incredibly useful and effective for Oakmont.
Totally advantage Oakmont. Now they just need to pay it off at the rim. This is Barrio. Gets it right back from Sibley. Then right back to Sibley as they play catch on the left side of the arc. Halfway through this second quarter, 4 minutes left until the halftime mask break. Rodakowitz flashes, gets the pass from Rutherford. Sets up a Barrio 3. Hard rim out. Barrio crashed. Pompey the rebound. Then Marois, headman pass, finds its way to Boulay, who got her pocket picked. And going the other way at Sibley. Sibley kicks over into the corner. Puts it in the hands of Plotkin. Plotkin back to Rutherford at the foul line. Shot won't go, but Plotkin comes down with the rebound. From a tough angle, can't get that shot to go, but got another rebound. Third opportunity on the possession for the Spartans. They've got to finish here. Barrio gets a look at a 3. Line drive, front rim, no. Crash for the rebound. Held ball with Barrio and Marois. And the alternate possession says Oakmont basketball. This will be a 5th opportunity on this trip down the floor for the Spartans.
My goodness.
Kate, that will be the thing at halftime when Coach Jeff O'Neill is talking with his troops. That will be the thing that will frustrate them the most. It's not as if their full court pressure hasn't caused the turnovers and led to scoring opportunities.
Yep.
It's the inability to finish double dribble called there on Barrio, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
You're absolutely right. They have a game plan that is working, but they've not been able to execute on the offensive end. Turnovers for both teams have been clearly a problem tonight, and I think you're absolutely right. The game plan is working. Now it's about efficiency, effectiveness, and execution on the offensive end of the ball for Oakmont. 3
important E's as they make another pick. And then Nevard scrambling back into the play after she had her pocket pick, gives away the foul on Sibley. And Cudahy will check back into the basketball game as Nevard will check out with her second foul. 3:03 left here in the second quarter, a 19-7 Leominster advantage. Bounce to Roddiquins at the right side of the baseline, picked by Smith, saw it going to Rutherford. Now Smith, caught in a triple team. She stepped back from the pack, shot away. It is short, and Roddiquins has got the rebound, and then the giveaway in transition, the ball back to Leominster.
Noticeably, the Oakmont coach, while the ball is going out of bounds, is coaching up his player.
Take advantage of every moment you can.
Making an adjustment on the fly. Love it. While the play is happening. He sees it coming. I love it. That's coaching.
Absolutely. Cudahy with the inbound. And Boulay to Pompey. And back and forth they go at the top of the key. Swinging over for Smith. Faked the pass. Got tripped up on the play. They said she lost possession, and Smith was able to finish the lay-in. 21-7, Leominster's advantage. 2.5 to play here in the second quarter. I think that was a bit of a beneficial call there, Kate. It looked like to me it was a walk.
I didn't see a thing. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're absolutely right.
Ball was tipped on the inside as Barrio tried to find Sibley. We're able to reload. 10 seconds on the shot clock. This is Roddiquins, and she walked with it. Ball will go back to Leominster.
Turnovers becoming an issue.
Yep, no question about it. 2:09 to play here in the second quarter. 21-7 Leominster's advantage, and Dr. Naismith, not exactly the way he designed the game.
No, I would say that that's accurate.
Ball tipped right at the midcourt stripe. They say last touched by Leominster, and Spartan pressure causes a turnover once again.
It's been wildly effective. Wildly effective. If you're Leominster, you have to know that other teams are going to see this and they're going to implement it.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Barrio works the give and go with Sibley. Open at the rim, the lay-in is good. And the Spartans finally off of that 7 they had been stuck on for a matter of minutes. And another pick. And back down forward, Sibley for Barrio. Swing for Cullen. Barrio flashed at the baseline. Not able to get her, the ball was Cullen. Cullen found Sibley cutting down the lane. That one doesn't go. Cudahy the battle for the rebound. She'll tip it and then run it down.
Leominster making some nice improvements on the rebounding action, especially in this quarter.
Final 90 seconds here of the second quarter. Smith, the drive, push shot, front rim, no. Rebound for Plotkin. On floor, this one was tipped. Out of play, they say last touched by Leominster, and it'll be Spartan basketball. Horn goes off, nobody coming. Oh wait, hang on. A last second addition to the action.
So many whistles.
Indeed, horns, whistles. And Coach O'Neill calls a baseline, or excuse me, a straight line stack up here at foul line extended. 1:05 left here in the second quarter. Barrio for Cullen, head fake, drive, kick back. Under a minute to play here in the second quarter.
Ooh.
Kick inside, wide open. It was Plotkin.
Yeah.
She couldn't finish. Second opportunity doesn't go either, but immediately into the game, it's Laura Young committing the foul.
That was a nice pass there into the paint.
53 and 9/10 seconds to play here in the second quarter. And at the line, it's Plotkin with an opportunity. Locates that nail hole on the floor, positions her right foot on it. And the shot away, that one a little too strong. Kate, have you ever had the opportunity to go out there and locate that nail hole? There is a nail hole literally in the center of the foul line. It's one of those marker points, and it is a technical thing the coaches teach. If you set your strong or your dominant foot, your shooting foot on that line, kind of square everything up. It's a little old school, but it is a phenomenal advantage because you know from that nail hole to the rim is straight away.
Todd, the only thing I got out of that statement was it's
There's
old
a hole
school.
in the floor?
No, it's old school, and that's you in a nutshell. That's about all I got out of that.
But
There's a nail in the floor.
There is a nail hole.
Got it.
Show you after the game. Shot away. That one won't go for Cudahy. Tressaloni, the big rebound. Count the basket. And one.
It's an exciting marriage we have. I'm going to look at a floor, everybody.
Sure beats empty
Get
softball
ready.
fields. 36
Get
and
ready.
1/10 left here in the second quarter. 23-10, Leominster's lead. Tressaloni with an opportunity to complete a three-point play.
I know, people are jealous.
I know.
It's okay.
That one too strong. Tip, Tressaloni the
Nice
rebound.
rebound.
Swatted away by Plotkin, and she carried it across the baseline. The ball back to Oakmont.
It's a nice effort, though.
Without a doubt. Marwell will check in a little offense for defense here for Coach Frederick. There'll be a 2.5-second differential shot clock to game clock. Leominster with a little full court pressure. Cudahy the pick. Barrios stripped it right back. Tipped out of bounds. And they say it's Leominster basketball. Shot clock off the rest of the way here in the first half. 24 and 3/10 seconds left here in the second quarter. This is Cudahy. Cudahy, foul line Young. Kick, Boulay. Three, if it goes, it will not off the front rim. Rebound ripped down for Cullen. 10 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Cullen ahead for Barrio. Barrio dribbles it out of trouble. Back to Plotkin. 5 seconds to play in the quarter. Plotkin, the lay-in won't go. Smith the rebound. And Coach Frederick says, hold on. And that is the way we will end the first half of action. Leominster with a 13-point lead through one half. It's Leominster 23 and Oakmont 10. What a first half of action, Kate. Defense certainly much more noticeable than the offensive production. The only thing about offensive production we'll take as a note once again is the inability of Oakmont to turn their turnovers into points.
Yeah, and that's absolutely correct. That's kind of the glaring item. The other thing that I'm noticing is that Leominster doing a nice job with their in-game adjustments. Coach Frederick having to very quickly and very early on make some significant course corrections relative to how the Blue Devils interacted with the Spartans relative to that full court pressure, because it was in your face, it was effective. And right now, Leominster, if you're going to struggle on the inbound, then going into your own offensive end, you're going to struggle with your passing. There's no way that you can have any offensive production. Leominster doing a nice job overcoming that. We saw in the second quarter passing much more crisp than we saw in the first quarter. So I think once Leominster got settled in and got settled down after they realized, okay, we need to make a course correction here relative to how we deal with the inbounds when we're going on the offensive end, they've settled down and they look a lot better. Their production on the offensive boards has picked up, and they've been taking advantage of the fact that Oakmont right now struggling, getting multiple opportunities when they're on their offensive end, but struggling to convert to points. Turnovers on both sides, though, still a little tricky in my book.
Halftime here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster 23 and Oakmont 10. We step aside. More to come. This is RFM. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School, ready for second half action to begin as the teams both abandoned their benches here at the halftime mask break, and both coaches were doing some intense whiteboard work, Kate. They were both drawing up some significant adjustments that they want to see. It's the first time, I would say, in now the 4th week of a 5-week season where we actually saw both coaches race to the walls and start actually trying to draw up some kind of adjustments that they could make as they're starting to get used to this lack of existence of a halftime.
Well, and I think that they're utilizing their time a little bit more wisely, and they're utilizing that time to make those adjustments. And as you said, both coaching staffs rushed over to the end lines, abandoning their benches. That meant that they got 100% of their players' attentions during that mask break.
And away we go. Leominster with possession going right to left here in the second half of action. And right away, the 3-point away from Cudahy, rebound down. Possession was tied up. A held ball in the alternate possession favors Oakmont. 9 seconds gone by here in the 3rd quarter, still at our halftime score of 23-10, Leominster.
That was a fancy move.
Indeed, Rodiquins had lost the handle on it and went back over her shoulder and right to the inbounder, who is Cullen.
I don't know if you asked her to do that again, she could.
This is Barria. Back and forth she goes. The feed down to the baseline. Kick back, swing now, try the right side. This is Sibley, bangs inside for Rodiquins. Just off the mark, Pompey with the pick. Back down floor she comes. Nevard through Pompey, corner for Cudahy. Baseline drive, Pompey just kind of throws up a shot as she was getting bumped, no call. McDonald, the shot with about 10 to shoot. She missed everything, and the rebound this time was Plotkin. Down floor, Spartans try to put it a little too long. That one got deflected out of bounds, and the ball back to Leominster.
And no white jerseys there to take it. There we go. There's Nevard. That's the worst feeling in the world when you're an official, when you're all by yourself.
Now they have a solution for that. They'll wait patiently, and then they put the ball down and start their inbound count. This is McDonald.
That's passive-aggressive.
Turn around on the right block, does not go for Pompey.
Effective, but passive-aggressive.
Indeed. And up floor we go. Ball was tipped inside by Cudahy. Made its way to Plotkin. Throws up a wild shot that won't go. Loose ball run down and dribbled away by Nevard, who absorbs the bump from Plotkin.
Nevard's been putting forth quite a bit of effort tonight, doing a nice job. A lot of hustle tonight.
And that's the first foul of the 3rd quarter. And subs coming into the game
having
here.
A conversation.
Yeah, this is Amy McLaughlin. And she's going to check in for Plotkin, who I think Plotkin might have got the worst of that body contact.
I think you're right.
So McLaughlin will spell Plotkin, who's over and is smiling, talking to Coach Jeff O'Neill, so she is okay as she heads over for a spell on the bench. This is Marwa, inside, Forsberg, right back to Marwa, who got loose on the block, laid it in and good from the right side. Patience pays off for Leominster on that possession. Barrio feeds Cullen. Corner, the drive inside, tipped away, battle. It finds its way to McLaughlin. McLaughlin for Barrio, takes the 3, high, hard rebound off the rim, over the backboard, not a play, and this ball will go back to Leominster.
Little herky-jerky here to start off the 3rd quarter on both sides of the ball.
Cudahy for Pompey by herself. Deflected on its way back to Cudahy, who will dribble it now to the right side. This time it's Marwa. Back to Cudahy. Back to Marwa again. Head fake, shifted the feet. Ball back to Oakmont. And Coach Frederick with the big two-handed pump. Slow it down, calm down. No need to press the issue here with a 15-point advantage. It's about working the basketball and finding points on each possession. Nevard tries to jump the lane there, and she does. Able to pick it up in stride, getting ridden off the play, draws the foul, and Nevard's got 2 shots coming from the line, as this foul will get billed to Sibley. Sibley's second, team second for the Spartans here in the third quarter.
Had to take my job away.
I think you have
enough to do. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Nevard tries to shake that one out as that one was off the mark, and Coach Frederick points at his head. Meanwhile, Coach Jeff O'Neill says it's time to talk things over. Timeout on the floor. 5:18 left here in the third quarter. Leominster with a 25-10 advantage.
Coach O'Neill absolutely using his timeouts to his advantage.
Well, and this was a conversation Bill and I, Kate, had in our last broadcast. It's one of the things we're noticing as we've gotten, again, a number of weeks into these COVID modifications and everything else. Coaches are now finding ways to use their timeouts to their advantage to basically make up for the lack of a halftime, the lack of time between quarters, in order to get that instructional time, in order to get their players, you know, a chance to settle themselves before going back out and making up the next play.
Yeah. I mean, if you have them, you need to use them because they're not giving you a halftime.
No, they're not giving you any other time indoors that they can possibly avoid. That's for certain. Talked about the upcoming schedule here in Pod 6 action. Leominster and Oakmont week continues on Saturday as the boys take center stage. Game right here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It will be the only meeting thus far of the season for Leominster and Oakmont, as the boys game tonight, scheduled for out at Oakmont Regional tonight, was postponed. That one due to the concern of a potential contact trace situation with COVID. Therefore, Leominster and Oakmont boys don't play tonight. They'll play their first game of the week on Saturday. Game right here on RFM inside the gym at Leominster High School, 2 o'clock. The special Saturday tip time will be on the air at 1:45 on Saturday, February the 6th. Nevard finished that one at the foul line, 26-10, Leominster's advantage. As here comes Barrio. 3 will not fall from that right corner, and Nevard's got herself a rebound.
Nevard nearly got just pushed right over.
Cudahy, good firm square base, 3 away, won't go. Rebound down for Nevard. 1 bounce around the defender, got herself to some open space and hits the 2. 4:45 to play here in the third, an 18-point Leominster advantage. Middle of the floor, it's Rodequins. Spins her way out for, yes, that was Cullen. And Cullen got a second hand on the basketball. Double dribble to call, ball back to Leominster. Sabina Marwa will come over here to the near side for the inbound. Looking, finds Pompey, gets it right back. Marwa to the middle of the floor, finds Nevard for the mid-range jumper. Short off the front rim. Rebound down for Plotkin. And Plotkin will go up floor. Find Rutherford, get it right back, and Plotkin pulls up for 2 and hits it. This is Poulet for Marwa. Marwa sees the line drive pass, finds it to Nevard, past 3 defenders to get there. Now Nevard, back top of the key. Pompey, hard swing to the near side. Boulay, good take down the left side. Draws the foul with 6 to shoot, and Boulay's got 2 coming from the line. Productive possession there, Kate, in that it took time off the clock.
Yep.
It finished with a foul.
Yep.
It will finish with the opportunity for points.
Yeah, we really can't ask for too much more than that.
That one will not go for Taylor Boulay, the freshman guard. And Coach Frederick going with that hockey-style substitution here. Keep everybody fresh, keep running the shifts, keep moving your pieces around, keep everybody fresh out on the floor. And that one will go for Boulay. This is Barrio. 3-pointer from the right corner, will not go. Rebound for Plotkin. Through Rutherford, reloads Barrio, shot away, no foul called. Plotkin runs it down again. 3rd opportunity on the possession. inside. This is Rodequins. Draws the foul as Marwa was giving up about a good foot on that battle, and she ended up reaching up over the top and grabbing arm, and that will send Rodequins to the line to shoot 2. And the first one won't go for Rodequins. See those defenders take their spots down the lane. Kate, notice that Marwa has the low block left side.
Love that. Look at who she's going up against.
And she's got body
Look at how
position
she
and the
gets it.
rebound.
Oh, way to go.
Absolutely.
Beautifully done. That's why. She's clutch.
Sometimes you gotta want it more, and she's open at her spot from the left side. The
Ooh,
one
that
bounce,
pivot
lost
foot,
the
that pivot
handle,
foot.
and the ball moves its way to McLaughlin.
She glued that little toe to the floor.
To the near side, this is Plotkin. Plotkin in the right corner. Back to the top, Rutherford. Rutherford trades places. From the right foul line extended, finds Barrio. Right back to Rutherford, steps in for the 2, won't go, and the rebound tipped down for McDonald. Back up floor. This is McDonald, dribbles out of trouble. Bounce to Tresoloni. Long opportunity there will not go, and the rebound down for Plotkin as we're under 3 minutes here in the third. Three-pointer away for Barrio. Side rim won't go. Plotkin the rebound. Tied up with McDonald. Held ball favors Leominster. And Kate, I will say this. Barrio has had some phenomenal looks from 3 tonight, and none of them are going. She is stone cold. I don't want to be there on the night when those start falling, because she has had some phenomenal looks that have just bounced in and out.
And I think that's one of the hallmarks of this game. No one really able to get into a scoring groove.
Tresoloni missed the initial shot, but Marwa wide open on the left side. Catch, shoot. 2 points good for Leominster. This one tipped. Smith keeps it alive on the near sideline. Down floor, Rutherford is able to tip it away and had the last touch off of Smith. Ball back to the Spartans. A check it. They say it was last touched by the Spartans. Leominster will have the inbound from foul line extended here on the left.
See, we knew you'd get it. From 3.
Indeed, three-pointer away, and bang! That one will go for Smith.
There it is.
Under 2 minutes
I
to
was
play
waiting
here in
for
the
it.
third.
I even called for it.
Indeed. Smith can't get that one to go. Inside tip, it was bouncing along the baseline and back to the top of the key. This one, the drive and push. That one won't go for De La Santa, but Plotkin has the opportunity for the putback, and that one is good. 90 seconds left here in the third quarter. Leominster's lead is 20.
And that's one of those areas we had discussed. Oakmont had been doing a nice job getting multiple cracks at the old apple there, because they were getting multiple offensive rebounds, but unable to finish. That was a nice finish on that previous possession.
Drive, and that one deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Boulay. Spartans will keep the basketball, and Coach Rusty Frederick says, you know what, this is as good a time as any for a timeout. 1:22 to play here in the third. A Leominster timeout on the floor. It's Blue Devils 34, Spartans 14 here in the third. Courtside inside the gym at Leominster High School on this Thursday night. Great to have you with us, a part of our family here on Rivalry Family Media and with our partners at Leominster TV as well. We've got some folks checking in with us out there. Former Leominster City Council President Rick Marchand, now president of the Leominster High School Athletic Booster Club. I know they've been doing a lot of community work out there. They, of course, were just starting to get this new booster club started, gosh, now about a year ago. And then, of course, the COVID shutdown came and everything else, Kate, that has slowed things down out there in the community. But I know the Booster Club is out there. They've been having some involvement in the community. They're looking forward to really being able to kick things off when, as they say, the world opens back up again. Hopefully, none too long from now in calendar year 2021. But we do appreciate the compliment from Rick Marchand.
it's nice to hear from people. I feel like we saw the entire Marchand family quite a bit this summer while we were out for our walks, but since the weather has become a little more inclement, and I mean, I can speak on behalf of Todd. You're not a fan of walking outside in the cold, that's for sure.
I am not.
So we haven't been able to see that many people. We've been cloistered up in our homes, our respective homes.
But I can say, here as a resident of the West Side, a lot of people do get out there and get their walk on. We've been lucky to get out there and get some nice days. We've been able to walk this winter. I certainly do miss it. Looking forward to getting back to it. Hopefully in the month of March. I'm hopeful for the early spring. I think the rat was wrong.
The rat. Oh gosh. Puxatawny Phil.
I know. I do love the groundhog.
Do we know what happened with the flamingo? What did the
Ball
flamingo
was
say?
tipped. Foul called on the inside. My understanding, based on proclamation, is that the flamingo and Leominster Mayor Dean Mazzarella predicted an early spring this year.
As they should.
So I'm gonna go with the Featherstone on this one.
The Featherstone.
1:12 to play here in the third quarter. At the line. First one will go for Peyton Collette. The sophomore will have another opportunity coming up here. 1:12 to play here in the third. It's 34-15. Last shot here for Collette. Deep knee bend. That one will not go. And the rebound pulled down there for Pompey. 1:08 left here in the third. This is McDonald. For Boulay. Thought about driving, then pulled back out. This is Pompey. Under a minute to play here in the third. 15 on the possession. Boulay for Tressaloni. Thought about the three. Reached around with the pass. It's to the floor. McDonald came out with it. It was picked, then tipped. Ping pong basketball. Last touched by Leominster as Boulay crossed the sideline, and the ball will go back to Oakmont. 44 and 3/10 seconds to play here in the third. A 4-second differential, just a little over. Shot clock to game clock here as we wind down the third. That was De La Santa for Plotkin, then McLaughlin, back to De La Santa. The drive through the foul line, the runner for De La Santa will not go. Smith the rebound, shot clock is off here in the third quarter. Final 20 seconds of quarter three. Leominster can hold for a last shot opportunity, and the giveaway as Pompey goes through the hands of Tressaloni, and the ball will go back to Oakmont. 15 and 8/10 seconds to play here in the third. And this is Kyra Forsberg who's going to check back in. De La Santa for Plotkin. Final 10 seconds. Now 5 left here in the third. Go 4. De La Santa to drive through the defense. Lay-in will go at the buzzer and end the third quarter. Nice patient maneuver there for Ella De La Santa. Step between two defenders, laid it in and good. And through 3 quarters here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 34 and Oakmont 17. Kate, we've of course talked about the other games as Oakmont-Leominster week continues here, but we also have action coming up the 5th and final week of this COVID-modified basketball season. Comes up next week. It's Quabbin-Leominster week here inside the gym at Leominster High School, scheduled for Monday and Thursday, February 8th and 11th, respectively. Boys go first next week. On Monday night, the 8th, 6 o'clock, the scheduled tip time here from the gym at Leominster High School, followed on Thursday as the girls will wrap up the regular season, Quabbin and Leominster here inside the gym at Leominster High School on Thursday, the 11th, 6 o'clock, tip time scheduled. We're on the air 15 minutes to the start of each basketball game here on Facebook.com/Media Rivalry here on RFM. And then, of course, after that regular season wraps up, it's a couple of game play-in as we're to understand. We're, of course, awaiting the final announcement from Pod 6, but it appears that it'll be a 4 team, so 4 out of the 6 will advance to a Pod playoff. You basically have a semifinal on each side of the bracket. You play your final. Winner is the Pod 6 champion for this year. And as we said off the top of the broadcast, on the girls' side, Kate, right now, all signs point to Paul DiGeronimo's Lady Red Raiders, and that game being at the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse right now.
Oh, I had a different prediction, I think, when we looked at it, but I'll go with what you say for now. And then when you're wrong, I'll tell you I told you so. Can't remember what I said, but, you know. Say
it's all right.
Did you say, so that's unofficial relative to the pod playoffs? This is just your best guesstimate being
based on what we saw in
the
fall
savant
one.
that is
Yes.
Todd
Well,
Robbins?
just based on what we saw in fall one.
Okay.
And everything has been about equity and balance thus far. So I'm expecting that to come. And then, of course, on the other side of all of that, we go to this fall 2 wedge season coming up.
The wedge.
That's what the MIAA called it, the wedge season, as they wedge it in between the winter and then the spring season. That is on the agenda as well, and that will feature the 2 key sports in that wedge season. Football, obviously, which everyone has been excited about, but I'm also excited, Kate, here on RFM, to get some of our first opportunities in your old stomping grounds. Volleyball here inside the gym at Leominster High School.
Side out, baby, side out.
Indeed.
Bring it.
Tie up on the floor, ball will favor on that one Leominster.
One of the things I just want to commend is that the individual pods, the athletic directors, the various intricacies that go into making this just a possibility, let alone a success, as it has been. Very hard decisions having to be made on a number of levels, so kudos to all the athletic directors, all the players, all the coaches that have been involved. It's not an easy thing, especially, for instance, in winter sports, to say, okay, we're going to have winter sports, but none of your parents can come. That's not an easy decision for anybody to make, and it's not one that anybody makes lightly. It's not one that anybody makes with fervor. It's one that they make begrudgingly, and so everybody's just doing the best that they can to make this thing happen, to keep the ball rolling, as it were. There have been little hiccups here and there, obviously, but on the whole, things have run pretty darn smoothly, and so that's a testament to the athletic departments. And most importantly, that's a testament to these student athletes.
Forsberg finished the lay-in on the last trip down the floor for Leominster.
See, I can't talk.
A deflection. Ball went back to Oakmont. Oakmont then with the giveaway, and the ball back to Leominster. Back down floor. This is McDonald, who gets bumped, and she's got 2 shots coming from the line. Just a minute gone by here in the 4th and final quarter. 36-17 Leominster with the advantage right now. That one won't go for McDonald.
And here comes the cavalry.
Indeed. They'll load the lanes. Feels a little bit like the start of a race in some capacity, whether it's track athletes getting on the blocks or a horse race, where they put the horses into the gates. But either way, they kind of load the lanes up, shot goes away, and then it's rebounding action, and we're away. Last deflection off of Pompey, right on the baseline. Good position there for the officials, and they say the ball stays with Oakmont. Coach O'Neill wants that pass to the foul line. He got it from Barrio to Plotkin. Now Sibley, the drive won't go off target. Rebound Pompey off the glass.
She's been doing a phenomenal job. She's been cleaning things up underneath that basket all night long for the Lady Blue Devils. Really a nice job on defense for her tonight.
Foul line. This is Nevard with the scoop shot and gets it to go. I would say, Kate, statistics would have played against that shot, but somehow it got up over the rim and in.
When you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
No doubt about it. Plotkin tries to work its way to Rodaquins, wrapped up with Nevard. Masks go flying, bodies go flying. Held ball in the alternate possession favors Oakmont.
Oh, we got Nevard's mask broke. Don't worry, they've got spares.
Oh, without a doubt.
They've got spares.
I mean, actually, it's probably one of the first times we've really seen the mask come flying off. We've seen one break, between action. That one came flying off as Nevard went sailing through the air at the end of the held ball.
Yeah,
They give her a chance, like a NASCAR pit stop. They reset, fresh mask, and you're back to the race. Here we go. Shot away, front rim off the hand of Cullen. And the rebound down for Leominster. This is Pompey, not afraid to press the issue. Nivard steps around a defender, got it to her right hand, shot didn't go, follow didn't go either for McDonald, and the rebound was pulled down there by Sibley.
It's a nice job, though, by McDonald on that offensive possession to try to make the best of the opportunities on the offensive rebounding action. She's working hard underneath that basket as well.
Shot away, that one won't go, tipped out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Leominster. 5:28 to play here in the fourth. Forsberg finds Cudahy, and then right back to Forsberg. And Kate, you know I do love my sneaker report. I've got a great set of mid-cuts over here on Forsberg. I love it's the Air Max 250 from that organization that doesn't need any promotion. They certainly don't sponsor us, but it is the 250 with the check mark. Sharp, very sharp. I like the all white with the clear Air Max.
You are such
base.
a fashionista.
Hey, I like the shoes. What can I say? McDonald the rebound.
It's well documented. You have probably 2 times the number of shoes that I do.
Fact.
Well documented.
Fact. And the drive down the lane. Barrios stays on it. Draws the foul. Count the basket and one.
Our closet space is laughable. Laughable difference.
No comment. 4:52 to play here in the fourth.
It's because guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. I object. Why? Because it's devastating to my case.
It's devastating to my case. Liar, liar, Jim Carrey. Nivard a little late to the party there. Got the benefit of a patient whistle, and they'll adjust the
that's been one of the nice
spot.
things about this season is that, everybody's just trying to get by and do their thing. So if you need a second, take a second.
Barrio can't get that one to go to finish the three-point play, and Nivard got herself a rebound. Guess she saw that one coming. She goes flying through the air and finds Young over on the near side. The no-look, Nivard through Pompey for Cudahy, and a walk called and the ball back to Oakmont. 4:36 to play here in the fourth.
Turnover.
Indeed. Kate, I want to revisit your point for a moment from moments ago.
I made one. Which one?
No, you make more than one now.
About your shoes?
Well, yeah, okay, there's that too. But no, your point about the action, I think the word, and it feels like it's been on the word of the day calendar since last March, it's been grace. People giving themselves and giving others grace, and we've seen that. In order to make this sport function, everybody has got to be patient at this point in time. It's this sport, any sport. If you want to have athletics that are COVID modified, grace is the name of the game. As Nivard, by herself, can't get that one to spin home.
Well done.
And a great hustle play by Cullen. Down floor, Sibley for Barrio. She got it on the rim. She hit the floor and the shot didn't fall. Meanwhile, the pressure right back on with Cullen. Tipped out of bounds and the ball back to Leominster. 3:56 to play here in the fourth. A 41-19 Leominster lead. Fouls 4-3. They've left let them play, so to speak, in this game thus far, Kate. And
Oakmont coaching staff not thrilled with that last call.
Yeah, but I think you are right. Pompey, meanwhile, gingerly up off the floor, and she goes to the bench area for a breather. Shot clock held tight at 27 seconds to shoot. Cross-court skip, Nivard, the bullet into the bench.
We have not seen the errant pass for a little while, especially the cross-court errant pass. You know how I am. I'm a stickler with regard to the cross-court pass.
Yeah, you gotta be a sure thing. Gotta flash for that. 3:51 to play here in the fourth. Nivard will get a spell. And taking over the point right now is Rutherford, working with the off guard here. It's De La Santa. The inside bounce, seeing some of her first action of the night. It's Beausoleil. Won't go, and the foul called inside on Smith on a reach. Fourth called on Leominster overall, first called on Smith. The swing. Inside, that was De La Santa, knocked down by Boulay, into the hands of Rutherford. Now back top of the key. Swing up to the near side. Feed inside was tipped, and it finds its way to Marwa. Smith for Marwa. They play catch. 3:15 to play here in the fourth. Leominster's lead at 41-19. The runner for Smith will not rattle home, but Marwa, the rebound, and putback is good. And Kate, she is a catch and shoot.
Yes.
Keeps the rebound high, coming down, right back up with it.
She's a fun player to watch. She's one of my favorites just to watch her out there because she's scrappy. People lose track of her very easily. And like you said, get the ball, get rid of the ball. Bam, quick.
Timeout taken on the floor by the Spartans. 3 minutes flat left here in the fourth quarter.
Still have a conversation going on over here between the Oakmont coaching staff and the officials.
Something from the front of the table, I think, was the conversation on that last play where the bodies were kind of going one in each direction.
It's a respectful conversation.
Oh yeah, just
a agree to disagree moment.
Well, kind of one of those circumstances. Kate, of course, we talked about obviously the finish to this winter season. You got fall 2 coming up on the horizon, and then hey, cannot overlook the return of spring sports. I know there are so many athletes and so many coaches looking forward to that spring, which will come one way or another. As Phil Connors said in Groundhog Day, March 21st. But nonetheless, as they get set for that to come, that'll be, of course, the return of bat ball sports. See the return of baseball and softball here to the region, and then of course your net sports. Lacrosse is back, boys and girls. Looking forward to seeing that return. I know there's a coach here at Leominster. Coach Colin Davis is itching to get back out there with his boys lacrosse team, among others that are looking forward to see the return of lacrosse to the region as well. And then, of course, you have track that will return at that point in time. Track athletes, of course, not only have they not been able to compete outdoors last spring, indoor track was not able to function in a manner that would work and be COVID safe. So track athletes have not been able to compete, nor have really since cross country season. You know, some of them crossed over in cross country in the fall season, and that was about it for your run-based sports. So looking forward to seeing that. And then wrestling also in the queue as well. Outdoor wrestling, Kate.
My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, that is like original Greco-Roman, original Roman, Greek outdoor wrestling.
Your Olympic medals, ready, kids.
Indeed. My goodness, back out on, I mean, can you see this? Somewhere, somehow, they're gonna roll out a wrestling mat on some tar somewhere. Away we go, it's Smith with the pick. Up floor for Boulay, that one won't go. Marwa's putback will go.
There's that scrappiness. Nice finish there, nice job not giving up on it, utilizing that possession well, taking advantage of multiple opportunities. That's what you want to see if you're Coach Frederick.
3-point away will not go this time for De La Santa. And the loose ball finds its way to Marwa. Those of you that have been joining us in delay on Leominster TV, channels of Comcast and Verizon, thank you so very much for joining us with our partners over at Leominster TV, as that one will go and expand Leominster's lead to 45-19. And Coach Jeff O'Neill will spend his final timeout with 2 minutes flat left here in the fourth quarter and a 47-19 Leominster advantage. And Kate, you know, we've talked about this throughout this opportunity, you know, to be here in this basketball season, and with all the modifications that we've seen come along, I think the important aspect that you have to take away from this when you get into games like this, and there have been a number of them in all directions, boys, girls, they've just gotten lopsided one way or another. You've not seen any athlete hang their head.
Not one.
You've not seen any coach stop coaching.
Not one.
Because more than just this season, it's about building for the future.
Well, that's one of the things. I mean, there's a lot of negative, clearly, that has come out of COVID and out of the pandemic. But one of the nice aspects is that this has been a really true reset relative to what priorities there are. And right now, the priority this year is, and we've talked about it constantly, the priority is just being out here. So that's number one. Number two, it's nice to see you don't have, you know, you don't have any of the negativity. You don't have any of, I mean, even between the players, there's no cattiness going on. They're all just out there. They're enjoying themselves. They're getting some activity. They're playing for that spot in the pod playoff, and they're out there being athletes again. And in Leominster's case, I mean, They're some of the only ones permitted in the building.
I know, for some of them, they're getting their first opportunity to see the building in a number of weeks and months. And the drive down the line, the foul called, that one is on the floor.
And you and I have had, you know, the situation where we're both educators, so we're both teaching from our buildings right now, and just anytime you have the opportunity to see your students' faces and see the student athletes, just how excited they are to be back at school. I mean, how often do you see a teenager in the cases where we teach come into school at 7:30 in the morning and their eyes are just glistening with happiness to be there? It's kind of a jarring experience for educators, just to see how excited some of our students are to be back with us.
No question about that, and I know I can speak for educators everywhere, and this has been chronicled in different ways online, and unfairly so. In that every educator wants to be back at their job, in their room, with their classes chock full, and it being safe to do so. And that's been the grand debate that has been going on out there, and I think it's important that people keep that in perspective, and I give Leominster a lot of credit. I've been very fortunate to work at a school district in Eastern Mass that has had testing for teachers from the point where we started seeing students back in person every single week, and then pool testing for every student who was willing to volunteer for the program. Credit to Leominster, as they have just signed on to a similar program of pool testing, and hopefully Superintendent Deacon, Mayor Dean Mazzarella can get the faculty that type of testing commitment as well, where they can get weekly PCR testing as well. It goes a long way toward making people feel safe and it to actually be safe to return, even in a hybrid fashion, to the buildings.
Not an enviable position for any of the people making the high-level decisions. I don't envy any of it.
No question about that. Ball to the inside, final 8 seconds. This is Marwa. Leominster dribbling out the action. Coach Frederick does not want them to press the issue. Cross-court skip to Thessaloni, and she'll hold on to the final horn. We're a wrap here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 47 and Oakmont 19. Blue Devils will improve their record to 5-2 in Pod 6 in Central Mass. Oakmont will fall to 1-6 overall, but perhaps the most important aspect that we saw here was the Spartans' defensive pressure, potentially making all the difference in the world on this one. 47-19, Leominster over Oakmont. For those of you joining us in replay on Comcast, Verizon, and the channels of Leominster TV, we say thank you so very much for joining us. For Bradley Bedard, Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much, and so long to those of you joining us in replay on Leominster TV. For those of you continuing with us live on Rivalry Family Media, we're just getting started. We'll recap it all. Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick joins us courtside after a break. 47-19, Leominster a winner over Oakmont in this one. We step aside, more to come, post-game interview, and more to come here. This is RFM.